Why haven't I worn these clothes? This rail behind me, it has 7 items on it, and I've had each of these pieces for sort of 4 to 6 weeks or more, and I haven't found myself reaching for them. And I thought it might be interesting to sort of unpack that, because I feel like there's a bit of shame associated with having items hanging in our closet with the tag still attached, even when we're still going out and adding other new items to our closet that we end up wearing before these other purchases that we've already made. And I actually got the idea for this video from my friend Rose on Instagram, so I'm going to link her down below. If you're a fan of Tibby, then you're going to love her, but she just has exceptional style anyway. So I highly recommend going and checking out her profile. Now, I've kind of categorized these into what I think are the underlying reasons as to why I've not reached for these items. I'm going to run through them one by one. I'll do a try on. We'll talk through it. We'll talk through the thinking, chat through, I guess, that guilt that is associated with owning things that still have the tags attached that we loved in theory that maybe just haven't worked out despite careful consideration. So I'm going to start with the tops here, and these are 3 tops that there's ultimately, in my eyes, no reason why I shouldn't have worn them. And the first one I want to talk about is actually a Tibby piece. And this is this beautiful woven tank with the shoulder pad detail. And you can probably see here there's a slight sheerness to it, so you can see the shoulder pad effect peeking through. That's very intentional. I really lusted after this piece for quite a long time, and I waited until the sale to finally purchase it. And I was thrilled to get it for, I think, 50% off. It is absolutely divine material. It really does feel so exquisite in the hand. I really like the fact that it is textural, almost has this kind of grid effect. You will have seen me talk about this in a bit more detail in my Tibby review, which I'll link up in the cards here. And I feel like the color maybe is a little bit of a gamble for me. It is this pale lemon color, and I don't think it looks bad against my skin tone, but I think often when I am looking to wear something of this ilk, I tend to opt for something that has more of a beigey cream undertone or a white. And I'm wondering if that perhaps is the primary suspect as to why I'm not actually wearing this more. I think also it might be the shoulder pad detail. I've said this previously in the past that I often don't get along with things that do have a lot of bulk at the shoulders. I'm quite narrow there, but you would think that this would actually add balance to my proportions and to my frame. So I'm thinking what I might do with this one is pop it on a separate rail so it's right in front of me and I'm more inspired to reach for it rather than it being kind of mixed in amongst the rest of my clothing. Next item I'm a little bit embarrassed about, because I think we all know I have plenty of oversized white shirts, but I couldn't resist buying this one. I feel like I'm always on the hunt for the best version of something, and I also have a real appreciation for nuance and detail, and how even just those slight subtle changes can have a major impact on your outfit, or at least the styling component. And this is really, I think, where I get caught up a lot in buying multiples of things I already own. This purchase was actually inspired by my friend Jess Elitzi. Some of you may follow her on YouTube. I will link her channel down below as well. I'm not sure she has this exact one, but she's got a very similar one from Weekday, and she raved about the quality of it, and I thought I'll give it a go. I managed to get it for 30% off, I think, during a sale. I bought mine from ASOS rather than direct on the Weekday website. And it is really lovely quality, but I think the thing that stopped me from reaching for it is, can you see how long it is? And this has actually been a complaint of mine in the past when I purchased an oversized shirt from And Other Stories, and it was so incredibly long and I just couldn't really figure out or wrap my head around the styling. And I think that is kind of where I've come a cropper with this. So I want to, again, sort of try to encourage myself to reach for this and wear it. Maybe I need to be thinking of this more as a jacket as opposed to a shirt in and of itself, so worn over a singlet and shorts. Perhaps that's how I will style it, as I'm really not at odds or at a loss for how I could wear this. And I could always tuck it in as well. Maybe I could do a wrap thing. But again, one that I'm definitely very embarrassed about this one, because I didn't need another white shirt, but here I am, I bought one. I'd had it sitting in my bookmarks for a good few months and decided with the discount it was finally time to buy it. So yeah, it is really nice, so very kind of lightweight and lofty, airy. If you have been looking at one of these shirts and you don't already have a white shirt in your closet, something oversized, then this might be a good contender. I feel like the color blue has slowly been creeping its way into my closet and I'm really, really enjoying it. And you may have seen me mention this nothing written, lapis colored shirt in my December new in video, which I'm going to do another one of those speed reviews very soon. It's pretty obvious to me. The reason why I haven't reached for this shirt is because of the color. It is very deeply saturated. It feels really kind of bold and bright compared to my typical neutral style. And despite me having that Blanca shirt, which is a bit more of a medium toned blue, this kind of almost feels like a big leap beyond that. So I'm thinking maybe what would be really great would be to pair this with some white trousers, a pair of maybe even my weekday row jeans in the ecru color. I think those would look really chic with this, even with a pair of denim shorts, but in ways that I can really tone back the color and make it the hero of the outfit, but in a way that feels really comfortable to me. Because I do love everything about this otherwise. I really like the fit. I really like the fabric because it's cotton blended with some nylon, which gives it this very lovely wispy sort of feel to it. And it almost has this kind of, can you hear that texture? I mean, I love when clothing makes noise. And for me, that kind of really just sums up one of the things that I love about fashion and different textures and fabrics. So yeah, that's another one that I really wish that I had kind of gotten wear out of already, but just have not gravitated towards. And maybe it's also a matter of me wanting to wear more sleeveless things and more t-shirts, as we have had really quite hot weather here in Sydney recently, so perhaps that could be contributing to it. But again, another one I really want to wear. Maybe I can try wearing it in that jacket style too, with a white tank, white shorts, or maybe some dark denim shorts too. Yeah. Now these next two items are ones that I know I haven't worn because I haven't had the occasion. And for those of you who don't know, I've got 2 children. My husband and I don't have any family that live nearby, so going out is a bit of a rarity for us. And I've sort of said no to a lot of events recently too, which has kind of meant that anything that I've had that is more special occasion oriented has sort of started to collect a little bit of dust, I feel like, in my closet. So I want to talk about this first dress because I feel like this is going to seem a little bit off-piste for me, a little bit out of the box, but it is this incredibly vibrant, and it is coming off almost neon on camera, so hopefully I can capture the color better in the colorway. This is from Camilla and Mark, and when I saw this, it's kind of this marigold yellow orange hue. I was instantly infatuated with this dress. There was really no explanation for it. I saw it and I really wanted it, despite knowing that it wouldn't be something I'd wear often, and also despite knowing that it's not actually in my typical color palette. And I was in David Jones and I saw it on one of the sales associates there, and she looked phenomenal in this dress, and she said to me, oh, it's on sale. So I didn't actually buy it in store in that moment, but I tried it on and I really loved it, and I loved the way it made me feel. And I've said before that I don't particularly love a cutout, which this does have on the sides, but I find them to be really quite subtle. And I really loved the ruching across the stomach. For me, that is something that kind of made me feel a lot more confident in this dress. It's really nice and long. It is actually quite a modest style, even though it does have that cutout detail. So this was one I did want to wear on Christmas Day. Maybe it's one that I'll wear on my birthday, which is coming up really soon. But I do love this. I just haven't had an opportunity to wear it. And the same goes for this dress here, which still has the tags on. This is from a brand called Weekend Stories. This one is from Revolve. So this one has this beautiful off-the-shoulder detail, the nice long sleeves. It is in this almost really thick mesh fabric, kind of clings to the body in a really sexy way. It's a really nice length as well. Something that to me feels really elegant and refined. This would be beautiful for a date night. And I saw it's also on sale at the moment too, so I think it's 50% off. So a really good time. If you're looking for sort of a nice fancy dress for a special occasion, I think this would be a good option, because it's one of those ones that you can accessorize and make it feel really special. You can sort of dress it down a little bit. It's really lovely. I just, again, haven't had a chance to wear it, so hopefully that occasion will come up soon, as I'd really love to kind of give this one a bit of an outing. But the thing for me that this really signals is that I have enough occasion wear. I don't need to buy any more special occasion dresses because I've got options. I even have separates that would fill this need or this desire to dress up and go out and look nice. I mean, I actually quite like the way a pair of wide leg fluid trousers look on an evening out, maybe paired with a little crop top or a slinky camisole. So I think it's just a reminder to myself to stop keeping an eye out on those special pieces, because to me they're often ones that are more emotional purchases. So kind of, I had to have it, I couldn't leave it on the hanger, I couldn't leave it in the store, it had to be added to cart, and that's typically where I end up going awry sometimes. You know, we have those emotional purchases that end up being brilliant buys that we wear on repeat all the time, but then I think in the same vein, it can be something you've looked at for a long time, you've lusted, desired for it for months, and when you finally get your hands on it, it is beautiful, but perhaps it doesn't necessarily reflect your lifestyle. And I think these are maybe a bit of a reflection of me shopping for my fantasy self, something I've tried desperately to avoid doing as much. And I think I've gotten much better at it, but special occasion dresses are kind of my downfall, I've found. So yeah, maybe I just need to find a babysitter and really make a point of creating an occasion to wear these dresses. Then the final two items are ones that I feel I haven't worn because of the weather, because it is summer here in Sydney, and I really want to kind of throw these on and have them in rotation, but it's been, as I've mentioned, quite warm. So first one being a sale purchase I made towards the end of last year from Farfetch, from a brand that is new to me. It's called B+AB. And this is a stunning boucle jacket in the black. It has a lurex thread that runs through it with the fringing on the cuffs, around the trim, and then these really big antiqued buttons. I adore this. It kind of has an oversized fit on the shoulders. It feels really relaxed, nonchalant, effortless, cool. Love it. But it's just been too hot. It's really heavy, really weighty, and I think much weightier than you'd expect. And because it is lined with a synthetic, which it is a really nice smooth synthetic fabric, it does mean when you wear it, you really retain body heat. It's not one of those super breathable pieces. This is one that is going to be exclusively an autumn winter style staple. But I'm really looking forward to wearing it loads once the weather finally allows, as I am still so excited about this particular purchase, and yeah, I just think it's so chic. And then the final one is, this was a gifted piece. This is from Dish, and this is a really lovely trench coat. So you know I have a super oversized trench coat from Max Mara, which I adore. So arguably you could say I didn't need another trench coat, but I find myself wearing them on rotation quite a lot, and this has more of an intentional fit. So I get a completely different look. I think here we're going into that idea of I've got too many multiples. We all know this. But I mean, I absolutely adore this. I think the cut of it is really beautiful. The quality of it is beyond, it is really great, especially given that the price point for this is very reasonable. So I think a good contender, again, if you are looking to add a trench coat to your closet and you really like the look of this one. It reminded me a lot of the Totem Pisa trench, but I personally like this a lot more than the Totem version. I just think it feels a little bit more classic and something that isn't going to be reflective of a particular period in the fashion style calendar over the years, if you know what I mean. But yeah, again, just haven't had an opportunity to wear it because of the weather. It just hasn't really been cool enough to warrant wearing a trench coat. And I think on the days when we've had rain, I've worn my rain jacket. So Yeah, this is one again that I'm really looking forward to wearing, but I think again this sort of highlights the fact that I tend to shop a lot out of season. Like, I mean, even thinking about this Nolly cardigan that I'm wearing right now from Cezanne, which you could arguably say it's a little bit too hot for this right now. This is very heavyweight. I tend to shop out of season, so I will have items hanging in my closet for a really long time before I even get an opportunity to wear them. And this is because I shop a lot from retailers that are based in the Northern Hemisphere. I live in the Southern Hemisphere, so the seasons are reversed, and typically I tend to shop during the sale period so that I can make the most of those discounts and let my wardrobe budget stretch a little bit further. So I don't always feel guilty about buying things like that because I know eventually they're going to get worn when the weather allows. And I think it's a bit of a reminder that we can really love and admire beautiful things, but we don't necessarily have to own them. And this is a muscle that needs a lot of flexing. It can be a really tricky one to kind of turn on and off. But it's something that I'm really hoping to try and do more of throughout 2023 so that the items I do add to my closet are ones that I am actually wearing and that I don't make excuses not to wear them or I don't actually have an occasion to wear them. I'd love to know your thoughts on this as well, actually. Please let me know down in the comments section below. I want to start up a discussion about it because I think it's an interesting topic, really. I always am fascinated around the psychology of why we buy and the psychology of why we do or don't wear things and what it is that inspires us. So I'm going to wrap things up here because it's getting very cloudy outside, but I hope that you enjoyed this video and getting a little look at items that I haven't worn in my closet that still have tags attached and the reasons why, or at least my reasoning why. And if you are new here, you want to see more videos like this, styling videos, brand reviews, then please do subscribe and I will see you next week with a brand new video. Thank you so much for spending some of your day with me and I will see you next week with a new one. See you soon. Bye.